In this video, we will take a look at splines in Cinema 4D. Now, when we say splines, they are basically series of vertices or points connected by line. For example, when we take the spline pen, we can click and draw an object. This is a spline. It's a spline. When we take the live selection tool, you see they are points that is being connected by lines. So simply, that is splines. In other software like Adobe Illustrator, they are called paths. Yes, paths. And then when it comes to Cinema 4D, we have two types of splines. We have the parametric splines and we have the editable splines. Right now, this is an editable splines because we can edit the points or vertices. Point is the same as vertices in Cinema 4D. So because this is an editable spline, we can select the points and edit them. We can move it to change the flow of the spline or the shape of it. Let's move it to the side here. And then we have the parametric splines also in Cinema 4D. When you come to the objects column where you can create objects, after the null object, the next object we have rectangle. This is the parametric spline. When you click and hold on it, it will reveal all the parametric splines you can create in Cinema 4D. So let's create a helix. This is parametric because when we switch to the point mode, there's no point to select on this spline because it's parametric. Now that is the difference between parametric splines and editable splines. Parametric splines simply have parameters you can change, okay, in order to manipulate the object. But editable splines, you have to select the points or vertices before you can manipulate it. Now there's a way to change parametric splines into an editable spline. You simply have to click on the make editable icon here, and now this spline is an editable spline. So you see I can select the points and also make changes to them. So these are splines in Cinema 4D. Now we have an object in Cinema 4D called test spline. Let's delete this once. Test spline. When you come here, this is the icon. It's a T icon. That is test. When you click and hold, we have the test and we have the test spline. You select the test spline. You see the test is in your viewport. When you come to the object attributes under the object tab, you can change the test. Okay, let's say love. Well, everybody love. Okay, so you see that the test has changed to love. Now this is a parametric test spline. It's not editable yet, but we can make it editable by clicking the make editable. Now this is an editable spline because when you go to the points, you see we have the points, and then we can actually manipulate the points, select them and manipulate them. Okay, so but let's go back, undo by holding Ctrl and Z together. We want to make it, yes, the parametric spline. And then with the test icon, when you click and hold, you see there's another object called test. Now the difference between this test and this test spline is that the test spline will create a spline of test, but the test object will give you an extruded test. You see, let's move it here. This test object will give you this. So when we go under the inside the attribute manager, under the objects, you can also change the test there like we did with the test spline. So let's go love. Okay. The difference between these two objects is that this test spline only creates a spline for you. But this test creates a spline, add an extrusion, and extrude the spline automatically for you. Now we can make this test spline look like this by adding an extrusion. So when we go to the subdivision surface icon, we click and hold to review all the other generators we can use. So we click the extrude tool, and then we click and hold the test spline and drag it inside the extrude tool, inside like this. Now you see we have an extrusion. Well, it's massive, so we select the extrusion and then we change the offset to something like this. Okay, so you see now the test spline after extrusion look the same as the test object, because this test object automatically it adds the extrusion and extrude it for you. When we make this test editable, you will see it. So let's make it an editable. So you see, these are the letters. Each letter is inside an extrusion generator. So that's what the test object does for you. It creates the extrusion generator and puts the splines inside. But look here, you see that the L, this is spline because of the icon. Okay, so that is the difference between the test object, and the test spline. In the next video, we will look at how to use splines to create objects and render them. Because by default, let's take out the spline, delete the extrusion, delete this. Okay, let's keep them both here like this. Okay, this is a test object, this is a spline. By default, when you hit render, splines cannot be rendered in Cinema 4D. Yes, it is there, but it cannot be rendered because Cinema 4D doesn't render splines. In order to render splines, you have to modify them or add generators to it. Like you see this test, because it's been extruded, it can be rendered and you see it. So in the next video, we take a look at how to add generators to splines, how to create objects with splines, and how to render them.